Okay. I think we're all good. Give me a second here. Okay. We are all good. Let's make sure it's working. Okay. So we're gonna go over Zeta. We talked about this yesterday with Ronnie. If you guys don't follow Ronnie, definitely give him a follow. I'll be posting him right after this. But overall, okay. So the company is Zeta Global Holdings. Okay. We are on FinViz right now. You can kind of see all their stats. Okay. So forgive the ads. They have very little debt. They're expected to go fully profitable this year. They're already free cash flow positive. They're growing in EPS sales, free cash flow. Again, like I said, going to be turning a profit this year. I would say one of the biggest things is we're gonna go over the earnings points here, but this is a chart that has potential. It did run up into the 40s, as you can see here. I don't know why we're not loading. Did this just like freeze? Oh, there we go. What is going on here? Oh my god, the computer is lagging. Okay, so Zeta's intrinsic value, based off value sense, is $38.20, which is undervalued by 169%. Okay, we're going to go through the share price history right here. So you can see it did get up to just about 40. It actually got up to about 39. It's not showing it here on value sense. Over the past 8 months ago. Came all the way back down. I'll be posting charts and everything for this going forward. Revenue in the next 5 years, 67%. Operating income, 40.8%. You're looking at growth on this name going forward. And that's what I absolutely love to see. I love the leadership team. We're going to get into that too. So let's kind of dive into it, okay? So right off the bat, let's talk about the leadership team, because obviously I think that's going to be a key point into it. So, two founders, okay? Both founder-led company here, okay? John Sculley, who co-founded the company with David Steinberg. John Sculley was CEO of Apple at one point. He was also CEO of Pepsi, and he was a big point in Pepsi's turnaround. So something to keep in mind there. And David Steinberg, co-founder and current CEO, has built multiple companies worth well over $1 billion each. So, again, founder-led companies is something I absolutely love. We have really good leadership. Obviously, we have really good executive leadership with John Sculley leading Apple, leading Pepsi, two major names that I think every single person in this world knows if they're over the age of 5. So that is one thing there. Okay, love the leadership, love that it's founder-led, and love that they stuck on to follow their mission and see their vision come true. Secondly, okay, let's kind of get into what Zeta is. So Zeta Global is an AI-powered marketing cloud platform. They help companies target and acquire and retain customers by using large-scale consumer data, machine learning, and omni-channel marketing tools, such as email, SMS, web, TVs, and so on and so forth. We could go on and on. I believe Zeta does have a moat, and it's kind of built on their data as well as their AI and integrated full stack marketing platform, and their contracts, and honestly, the large amount of consumer profiles they have, which is over 235 million. One of the top amount of profiles, honestly, in the industry. And I think that makes them kind of very well positioned to obviously be a leader in the marketing world. Kind of positions them really well as a digital advertising, whereas you're really seeing that obviously pick up over the past 5-10 years. And it's more privacy driven. They kind of don't do the third party cookies and all that stuff. If you're technical and know all that stuff, I'm not going to get into that. But leadership wise, company wise, I think is great. And now we're going to get into the financials here. So financials, they've been growing year over year, and you can see that perfectly here on value census chart. Year over year, they're growing 306 million to 368 million, 458, 591, 728, and now 1 billion just at the end of last year. So you could see their acceleration of growth over the last just 3 to 4 years in alone has been amazing. Now you can see, obviously, like we talked about, they weren't profitable, and they are expected to be profitable coming this year. Okay, and you can see, starting from that December 22, where it really started to escalate in their growth, you could see they strongly started to escalate and possibly come to profitability, which they're expecting to do in 2025. Same thing with the net income. But the biggest thing that I think is major here is you're going to start to see their operating cash flow and free cash flow start to rise. So they are doing extremely well on that. I think the biggest things for me as an investor, revenue increase, EPS increase, free cash flow. And they are starting to do this. Obviously, if we want to see them profitable, that's going to be a big key, and that's going to take them to the next level, in my opinion. So that is something to watch here on ZETA. I truly believe that this is a company that could be profitable, as they state, grow in that profitability, and they have the leadership team to execute and continue to execute on this vision, and as they've already done previously and currently. Again, you could see another vision of kind of how their revenue works out. So they make $1 billion in 2024, okay? And 606 million of that is gross profit. So 60% margins is what basically what they're hitting at currently. Then they start doing expenses, where they put the research and development, which is very little for a company like this, and their advertising and such. You can see their debt has went down recently, which is very key. And now, one thing I want to state here is, let me switch it over to where you can see this. Give me 1 second here. So I want to show you guys the chart here, because I think that's another big part of it. Again, I'm just doing a very quick analysis right now. I'm still kind of diving in, but this is a name that I'm definitely going to be purchasing. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, let me fix that. Oops. Let's go to ZETA. Okay, so let's look at ZETA on a monthly chart here. Okay, we're on FinViz, just kind of using this, to be simple. You can see we have supported on this after a major run up from $7 to $40, that $38. We have supported right back at around 13 to 14, where we had a previous high in 2022. And you can see, look at this. We had some wicks under it, but we came right back up and closed above it. I want to be buying ZETA. This is a company that is, one, chart-wise, is setting up for a beautiful move. It does have 2 gap up days in the past 2 days. I think we're going to get a nice inside day on that, possibly getting us right to around 15, where I'm looking to really buy my position. So somewhere around that $14 to $15 range is kind of what I'm looking at to really grab a position here, and I do think it comes. Overall, again, we kind of went over very shortly, just a quick overview of the leadership team, the possibility of profitability, their growth in revenue, their growth in free cash flow, their growth of turning a profit, and basically what they do and what I believe their mode is. Let's kind of dive in quickly to their earnings. I know. Okay, yes. So here's their last earnings report, which was just about a month ago. Okay. So they expect next quarter's revenue to be around 296 million, close to analyst estimates, and a 0.11 per share profit. So in their past few months, or past few earnings, you could see they actually were turning those profits. So let's go into it. Let's see them pop up. In November of 2024, they estimated a 6-cent EPS, and they beat at a 17.6 EPS. And their previous quarter in February, they were estimated at 22 cents. They beat at 23 cents. obviously a revenue beat as well. In this quarter, they actually had a down quarter on the EPS, but they still reported a net profit as well as, a continued surprise on the revenue. So again, they are becoming profitable. They should continue to execute on that. And that's another major reason that I love this company. So personally, I love names, and if you heard me talk about this yesterday, I love names that are either just turning a profit or just, recently kind of got one maybe within a year. They have continued revenue growth of maybe just about 20% is usually my floor. Free cash flow positive and growing on that. And again, founder led. I'm kind of repeating myself here, but I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible. So you could also look for these kind of names for yourself. And again, ZETA, they're Moat. They're an AI-driven, full tech stack, marketing company that I believe can take the next step of becoming a major leader, especially with all the profiles they have, over 235 million as of the last time that I've seen, that they own, that they're able to distribute to. So this is a major company that has major potential, and I believe this is one that I will be investing in the long term very, very shortly. I will give you guys updates on when I do so, but again, I'm looking for around 14 to 15, even just mid 15s. I'm perfectly fine with that. I hope everyone has a great day.